Good morning, everybody. This is Viveka from the Nourish Caveman and the Healing Foods Method. And this is an unannounced Facebook Live today. I am here in Italy at my parents' house, the same place where a few years ago I filmed some of the first videos for the Nourish Caveman, especially the keto paleo video. And I think for the first time in about 2 weeks my face looks almost normal. I can't believe it. I can recognize myself in the mirror. Today I decided to do this Facebook Live to speak about healing at a deeper level than just your diet. And you guys know that sometimes I address different topics, especially in the Facebook Lives, and I come to you with a deeper perspective than just your macros, your ketogenic, keto paleo lifestyle. I've been moving away from just doing recipes and cookbooks into a deeper perspective of what it means to heal, and also as part of my holistic practice, the best way to help you to navigate our modern lifestyles with this ketogenic and keto paleo and sometimes carnivore diets and lifestyles, but much bigger than that. Ways that we can rebalance, we can become present in our bodies and realize what is it that is making us sick and how to address that. So I've been going through a lot myself, congestion aside, especially with the histamine reaction that I had. I don't know if you guys saw my posts, but my whole face was swell up for about almost a whole week, to the point where I couldn't open my eye. And after some research and good feedback from colleagues, I came to the conclusion that that was a histamine reaction. I've been in Italy for about 2.5 weeks, between Italy, Switzerland, and France. And of course, I've been eating a lot of cheese, and I've been eating some preserved meats, and basically all the foods that contain high histamine. So unexpectedly, all of a sudden my face swelled up and I had a major reaction to the histamines. The doctor that I went to, although it was supposedly a good doctor, an osteopath, homeopath, it didn't understand what was going on at all. I consulted with several people. Nobody understood what was going on. And finally, through a couple of colleagues, and their feedbacks, nutritionists, I was able to understand that it was a histamine reaction. I did take antibiotics, which was really bad. Didn't want to do that, but I thought I had an infection in my eye, and the doctor confirmed that. So here is one for the team of nutrition and a bad one for the doctor, because like in this case the doctor was extremely not helpful. After about a week I went to the emergency room because he came back with a vengeance before I understood what it was, and waited about 3 hours in the emergency room in Italy. No attendants, no idea, just sitting there in an empty room. Finally I got so mad I just stormed out and decided to take matters in my own hands. So I did get an antihistamine. I took it that night, and I took an homeopathic remedy, which I continued to take for the last night. And I'm back with bad internet connection. I have been able to successfully address this problem, but the main lesson that came from this problem for me was that I was trying to work with my usual work schedule while I was trying to be on vacation and visit with my parents, and everything just brought my stress to over the top. I don't think that's doing it. Okay, I've got all my... Okay, I'm back. So I think that the amount of stress that I put on myself trying to manage, hi Karen, trying to manage all those different things just sent me over the top and had my body just have a major reaction. To that's been in my mind for a week. And then after this, I got an email from a patient this morning who has had a major outbreak of hives. For the last few days, I have her on a protocol, and all of a sudden, her whole body started breaking out in hives, and quite interesting, her eyes swell up. That's how it started, just like mine. And I was like, isn't that weird? I'm having the same exact reaction as my client. And this morning, she sends me an email. I'm going to read a little bit of this email to you because I find it really, really interesting about the topic that I want to talk to you about. What she said about her rash starting on Friday with the eczema on the back of her neck felt inflamed, and her feeling was that I thought it is angry, became very turgid, almost to the point of bursting. The rash started spreading from there. The eczema started a couple of months after my husband and I separated after 31 years. My thought back then was that he didn't want me. And then back to age 4 or 5, I was too young to remember the exact age, but was using that time frame. I was given up for adoption to a distant relative who came to visit us. I have vivid memories of tears streaming down my face. I'm editing some of the personal information out here, so just going to the big points. I have vivid memories of tears streaming down my face, standing by my suitcase with this couple. My thoughts then was that my parents didn't want me. To me, that was the confirmation of what I had suspected in my young life. The rash went deeper than just the toxins in my body. It's cleansing the toxic beliefs and the deep wounds long embedded into me. For me, that one of my patients was able to come to this realization on her own is huge, because not many of us are able to make that connection. Not many of us see that what we create in our body sometimes is a desperate call for help from our soul. And when we speak of root causes, and so many practitioners these days are catching on to the phrase root causes, and in their practices they want to find the root cause, and they will go and do blood work and lab tests and gut tests and microbiome and DNA and all these tests that tell us about our microbiology or our biochemical structure. And I am totally for that. I do work with labs and DNA tests. I was just working on my MTHFR test, but there is more. There is still something deeper that we need to address when it comes to healing. So how do we deal with something like this? For me, what I wanted to bring you today is the idea of time, and taking time for this kind of, and taking the space for us to really work on what we need to work on, not just the hives or the puffy eye or the histamine intolerance, but the root causes that are causing that. I think for me, it was a big part of being back with my parents. I left Italy 30 years ago and never came back aside from vacations. I came from vacations on a regular basis. Every time I come here, I feel like I'm 15 again. And that's how my parents still treat me. And I just turned 50. So there is a lot of emotional stuff going on. And the same for my patient and her work with this trauma and her beliefs as a child that she was not wanted. And the same that was triggered again by her divorce. So this is different than the work that we are doing with nutrition alone. It's much deeper, and a lot of you might address this kind of things. I strongly recommend that you do, but I also want to let you know that the work is not separate. It's not like we go to a psychologist here and we go to a dietitian there and then to a medical doctor there, and then somehow it's all in different compartments and it's all in different departments. It's all, the work needs to be done together at the same level, with awareness that the root causes of a lot of our diseases are coming from these holes in our soul, these limiting beliefs. There are many forms of holistic therapies out there, but I really recommend that if you have any inkling of idea that chronic conditions or conditions, like one thing that I realized being here is that I've been using food as a crutch. And the food was my emotional crutch to help me overcome the stress. And the food is really what caused the histamine to come up. But why was that happening is because the stress. And so I started really looking, and I always look at my crutches and the way that I try to support my emotional life in a positive or negative way. When we use crutches, most likely they can be negative and they can have detrimental effects. They might work in the moment, just like alcohol works in the moment, just like tobacco might work in the moment, just like a medication, a prescription medication for anxiety might work in that moment. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't remove the true anxiety, or it doesn't remove what has pushed us towards that crutch in the first place. And eventually, the negative effects of the crutch will manifest themselves in the body. So how do we address this? It's through awareness. And I say this over and over. And my belief is that we always start with the body and the healthy hygiene of the body and the mind. Somebody commented on my Instagram feed in the latest post that I shared, the one with the steak tartare, about her experience. And she also inspired me to make this video because it all kind of came together. The email, my experience, all came together as an inspiration to make this video. Karen is commenting, food is 100% my crutch. I struggle every day, every single day. Well, you have company, Karen. Same here. Food has definitely been one of my number one crutches. And what I try to do, and as you know, as from the work that we do together, is that with food, at least we can do a healthy substitution. And we can try to channel that emotional eating into healthy food habits, that we can still work with food. We can still have food even as emotional support when we need it, but at least not one that will destroy us and make us sick forever, or give us diabetes, or give us insulin resistance, or any other long-term conditions that will eventually destroy us. Sorry, but my phone I forgot to turn off and it's dinging away here. Forgot to turn off the sound. So mindfulness, of course, but awareness of where we're going with this process. And I also recommend support, finding the support that you need in order to figure these things out and to be able to overcome those habits. If you have any questions about any of this material, any of the things that I'm talking about, you're welcome to ask here, comment here, share your experience. I know this transcends the usual ketogenic. I think you guys have plenty of resources out there when it comes to just the macros, the protein, the way to eat keto. I have my own specific way to eat keto and keto paleo, but I feel like we need to bring that in context. We need to bring it in context of healing and a healthy, sustainable lifestyle. And if we don't look deeper at ourselves and where we are, that's just not going to happen. And keto or paleo or Atkins or whatever is just going to become another momentary fad that is not going to help you get better in a sustainable long-term way for the rest of your life. And I'm not looking at quick fixes here, you guys. I am not the quick fix person. If you want the quick fixes, you can go to some other people out there. There is plenty. But I'm just looking at what's the future bringing for us, for you individually, for me individually. I'm just right here with all of you. And how do we navigate those challenges together as a community, as practitioner to patient relationship, as an educator, inspiring people, and as a woman of my age with my challenges in this modern society. So as well, always, I welcome your feedback. I welcome your feedback on these topics or other topics that you might want me to address. I'm here to help as I figure things out and trying to help you figure it out as well, so we can create a better world and a more productive, a healthy environment that we can thrive in and not just survive. Thank you for watching today. This was my little impromptu Facebook Live. I'm going to show you where I am today. Here, laundry as is done in Italy. This is the backyard. And this is my mom's house and the porch. And just a quiet little neighborhood in northern Italy near Milan. I'm going to be back to the States on the 9th. So from next week, we'll be back to the regular programming. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following me. You can follow me on Facebook, The Nourished Caveman, on YouTube, where all these videos end up, on the blog, of course, thenourishedcaveman.com. If you want to start keto paleo or a mindful keto paleo lifestyle, there is a book that I wrote. It's called The Keto Paleo Kitchen, that has funneled in pretty much everything that I believe in as far as the diet part. For the other stuff, you might have to come to me in person, so reach out if you need help. I work through a program, I work through individual patients, can figure something out, but I'm here to help. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching. Thank you, Karen, and take care.